So these are the areas which we would be addressing. So what exactly we mean by online reputation management and the relation between SEO and ORM? We have already spoken about that. What exactly is ORM and the relationship between SEO and online reputation management? So there is a direct correlation. Then there are certain listening tools. When we mean what exactly we mean by listening tool is that if today I am a particular, again, a hotel owner, I want to know what people are talking about me day in and day out, then it's not easy to go ahead and get to know about so many comments which are getting posted across on internet by just doing a search on Google. No, uh, it's not only a handful of websites where people can go, where your customers can go ahead and write across about your brand. There are millions of websites. It's very difficult to catch hold of all the negatives and the positive reviews or the neutral reviews about your brand. So for that matter, there are certain tools which are provided across in the internet industry. There are third party providers. Free tools and paid tools both are there, which can be used across by search engine optimizers to evaluate and see how is the overall graph in terms of the reputation of a specific brand, of their specific brand. So a couple of good great listing tools are Google Alerts and Social Mention, which I'm going to show you how do they really work and how exactly we can use them in terms of getting to know about a brand, right? So then we'll talk about certain tactics through which we can really go ahead and rectify the negative reviews. So if there are certain negative reviews across for our brand, then how can we go ahead and get that removed, right? And how the overall use of content can play a vital role in order to rectify the negative reviews. All right, so before I move further and talk furthermore about the basics part, let me just pay some attention to this particular part, which is tactics to rectify negative reviews. Let me speak about a specific example, guys. What really happened? This is a real time example, which I'll tell you, where the negative online reputation management aspect came in. I couple of months back, I went to a hotel in one of the tourist destination, which was in Kerala in Kochi. And what really happened when I stayed there, I wasn't delivered great service. I wasn't being delivered great proper service. Food was not being delivered on time. The laundry man was not coming across on time and not giving me the kind of service which I had expected. Now, since I am a very particular person, I didn't thought that such kind of stuff can happen. I had huge expectation from that hotel because I had selected that hotel after reading good reviews about that particular hotel. But unfortunately, this hotel wasn't really doing well on that particular day. I kept informing them, but nobody from their entire staff listened in a very serious manner. I decided to check out the other day, and while I was checking out, you won't believe the hotel management, top management, was very much, in trouble. Because why was that? Because I had gone ahead and posted a negative review on the website, which is very popular in the travel domain. That's called TripAdvisor. The moment I had posted across a negative review, which was an honest opinion or an honest review by me in TripAdvisor, the hotel top management got to know. They might have been using some listening tools, right? That's the reason why they got alert. They got an alert that there is a negative review about their brand on one of the channels, which is TripAdvisor. That very moment, the hotel management guys went ahead and contacted me. They contacted the reception guys, people who were there at the reception, and asked whether this particular guest, which was me, still there in the hotel or not. And the reception guys told that yes, absolutely, he's here and he's checking out. They rushed through to the top management guys, rushed through and came to the reception, and then they went ahead and started, inquiring from me what exactly was it that which made me furious and which made me wrote that negative review. I told them everything, and the hotel management, top management guys started collecting all the information from me and got their staff also over there who didn't really help. When they got to know that it was the staff who was at fault, they started apologizing me. Now, see, what this was one of the tactics to rectify for the negative review. So, what I was talking about the negative review. So, in the offline space, not in the online space, they started doing all that. In the offline manner, they started apologizing, and then they said that they can do anything in order to make that review go away. but I wasn't really happy. I was still not happy with their apologies, and then I decided that I will let that negative review be there across on that particular site. When I decided that, then the number two tactic which they applied was that they started telling me that they can offer me some discount, or maybe they can make my stay free, or a next stay can be free from their side. I wasn't really excited about that deal also. So that was a tactic two, which was offering a freebie. Number one tactic was to apologize. Number two tactic was to really go ahead and offer some freebies. When I decided that I would let that negative review be there, number three, tactic which they applied was to they went ahead to TripAdvisor and and they replied back to that negative review which I had posted across. They apologized and then they mentioned that absolutely their staff was at fault, and they would make sure that whenever I visit next, they're going to give a much better service and they're going to compensate for that. So that was tactic three. So this is something quite very much you would say uh, quite genuine and quite something which you would say absolutely this is something which is expected out of the hotel management guys. Now, once this happened, all of a sudden they thought of another tactic. So after three tactic, which is replying back to the replying back to that particular negative review on the same online space, number four thing which they did was to actually started encouraging their new customers. They started giving them 5% or 10% discount if new customers who are coming across to their hotel post across a great review about them or their honest opinion. They were very much particular about what new customers are going to type in, right? So because they knew that if they will have this negative review there for long, and it will, and if that negative review will highlight across, which get a lot much popularity, then their business can be in trouble. So for that, for overshadowing that negative one single negative review, they started collecting a lot of positive reviews from real customers. So that was tactic four, and which is a great tactic, right? So they started collecting all those great positive reviews, which was, let's say, for 50 new positive reviews and one single negative review. So it hardly made a difference to whosoever was reading that reviews, because they were not, the whosoever started reading those reviews was not majorly looking at the negative review, because more number of positive reviews and just a smaller fraction of negative didn't really made a lot of dent into their entire business, right? So these are 4 5 tactics, guys, to rectify the negative reviews. You cannot do anything more. Another thing, guys, what they did, what they realized, this negative review started. It started ranking higher on one of the major keywords. On one of the major keywords like trip to, reviews of. Let's say if I'll go on to Google and then type that across. So let's say if somebody had typed across a keyword like reviews of hotels in Kochi, you would believe for that particular hotel, that negative review, despite of getting overshadowed by 50 positive, that negative review started coming onto the top. Now this become a pain for that particular hotel, guys, because this kind of keyword would have been typed across by a website by an audience who's a potential audience, right? All those people who are actually the potential audience were not really impressed with that negative review ranking across on the top, and they decided that they won't go with that hotel. They rather started going on to lodging, into another hotels. This really went the business of that hotel go down, and it was impacting. Now where does the SEO team came in and got this actually entire fought with this entire thing? Then the SEO team, which was working within the hotel entire staff, they did a very great technique in order to rectify that negative reviews. They created 20 to 50 new blogs and microsites. When I say microsites, mini websites. And what they did, they smartly went ahead and created a lot of content on these, 40, 50 new blogs and websites. And the content which was presented across on these particular website and blogs was related to this keyword. They started doing on-page and off-page optimization for these small little websites. It's a pretty time-consuming task and also a pretty long task. But what really it helped them with, that with this particular keyword, those 50 websites, you know, all of those 50 websites, they started ranking higher, and that particular negative review started getting de-ranked. That was a great fifth tactic to go ahead and uh, get that negative review not impact your particular business. So what happened? The first 40, 50 overall search results were of the new websites, which were getting optimized very rigorously with a lot of great on-page and off-page being done across. With a lot of great on-page and off-page being done across for that particular keyword for of those small little blogs and websites, that negative review started ranking down. So this is a great way of actually managing across your overall reputation. All right. So I'll talk about further more stuff, guys. Let's get started with the slides which I have to showcase you across. So, what is online reputation management, or what is reputation management? We've already spoken about that. All the great stuff or the bad stuff, whatever you want to call it, the positives and the negatives, builds up the overall reputation, and the way you manage that is all about the reputation management. So, online reputation management, if we talk about, is a process that businesses and individuals both follows that involves recovering the online image as well as building a positive one also. So if in case there are a lot of negative reviews, then how can you go ahead and recover that negative review image, as well as how can you go ahead and create a positive one with a lot of positive reviews, like the one with the example which I've given you. They started collecting a lot of positive reviews from various other customers, so that the positioning overall changes, right? So that's with online reputation management. Earlier, what used to happen, uh, okay, this particular picture, guys, I'll tell you about what earlier used to happen. Before that, this particular slide says that is the online reputation management should be followed by maintaining that image, which involves monitoring and responding to what is being said about your business online. People might be talking a lot about your business, right, on all these social platforms, on all these Web 2.0 sites. It's very much important that you maintain that image which you want to portray across to your end customers. And by maintaining that image, you have to do a lot of monitoring. Monitoring or listening, or whatever you want to call it, they both mean the same. You have to check. You have to use a lot of listening tools and social media monitoring tools in order to get to know what people are talking about your brands, good, ugly, bad, neutral, positive, negative, on various other on a lot of networks. Once you get to know about that, then you go ahead and segregate them into positive, negatives, neutral, and then start responding back. In case you don't respond back to any, even a positive review, it gives a bad impact that your brand, your particular business is not careful about what customers really feel like. If customers are really trying to go ahead and appreciate something about your business, then you should go ahead and uh, acknowledge that. Acknowledging that, responding to that is something very much important. So are your customers praising or complaining about your business? It's very important to find out. You need to do a lot of social media monitoring stuff. We'll talk about that, which are tools helps us in doing that. So before the internet, so I was telling you what used to happen earlier, right? Before the internet, people used to talk about a lot of negatives and positives about products and services whenever they used to connect, whenever they used to meet and greet each other at various different places, whether it's an event happening, or a party, or a social gathering, or a workshop, or a seminar, or maybe at a workplace, or at a entertainment space, whatever it may be. So people used to gather, and then they used to share across their overall opinions. Now, when the internet thing came in, with in the early years of internet, it included a lot of message boards and chat rooms. They were not Web 2.0 websites initially. They were not websites like blogs and forums and question and answer websites, and social media sites. It was majorly the message boards and chat rooms where people were talking a lot about how do they feel about specific brand, about a specific product and service. Right, the entire journey went ahead, and then after that, people started creating online demand for businesses. Right, so things like creating, doing public relations, maintaining relations with the overall public, also doing search engine optimization, website design, online monitoring, market research. If you talk about all of that, this all is being encompassed into online reputation management. So after the internet, after the initial years of internet, when Web 2.0 thing came in, plenty of digital marketing activities started happening with respect to social media campaigns, online advertising campaigns, paid media marketing campaigns, social media monitoring, websites getting designed and getting optimized, and also online PR happening. All that became part of online reputation management. So, right, people started. It was only us who started using internet a lot much, and the rise of digital marketing came in, and within digital marketing, the rise of online reputation management came in. So online marketing is a reversed marketing, right? You would agree to that. If this is so, if I today promote across my brand through internet, that is online marketing. But if I don't do it myself and my customers do it for me, if my customers start saying something great about me, about my product, about my, let's say, training, then it becomes a good overall platform for me. It becomes a user generated content, a word of mouth starts happening for me. And it is a fact that if I talk something great about myself today, people will not believe a lot about that. If somebody else talks good about me, then there would be the trust factor will actually scale up high. A customer listens to a customers rather than customers listening to a salesperson, right? A salesperson will never ever say something bad about his brand or its product or its service. But if you talk to a customer and you are a customer yourself, then absolutely that overall bond is going to be something very different. A customer always goes ahead and listens to a customer and believes the customer only. So that's what the overall word of mouth thing comes in, and the user generated content plays in a very important role. That's why I said that online marketing is a reversed marketing where consumer promotes the product and services through reviews rather than the company. All right. So, like I said, 78, like I said, I'm repeating that thing over here again in this particular site. 78% of people trust the recommendations of the other consumers, whereas only 14% of people trust the advertisement. So, trusting the advertisement is something very difficult. People have that notion that whosoever will promote across their brand, they will definitely talk something great about it, right? But if other people are talking something great about the product, absolutely it will the trust factor would improve absolutely for sure. So this is as per the Nielsen Trust in Advertising report, guys, as per that research. So and they don't care about your ads; they care what friends think, right? So customers are always looking after what their friend says, what their colleague says, what people across about them say. They don't care about what your ads say, right? So ads are just for the information purpose. So key tactics involvement. So customer buy from people they know, right? They want to know you, so be open, be genuine, be trustworthy, right? Build in a community where people, where customers, your potential audience can interact. They can be prompt, they can be caring. Help members to support each other. So building in a community where customers can come over, interact with each other, and you go ahead and help them as well. And you should have that attitude of giving assistance to each and every member so that they get full support. Also build your influence. If you are an influencer within the entire community which you have built across, and you provide useful information, ratings and reviews, then absolutely things will work, and word of mouth will work in proper fashion for you. The online reputation management will happen in the right direction. So positive reviews by customers can counter the negative criticisms, which I've already told you, that in the same example which we have taken with the hotel example, right? Similarly, do encourage your clients to talk positive. So what did that entire hotel did? The example which I've taken, they started giving 5% discount, 10% discount to all those new customers who were coming in, if provided if they go ahead and write in a review for that particular hotel on TripAdvisor or any other websites which they were looking after, right? So the motivation factor has to be there for the end customer also to go ahead and type in. So you're not bribing, you're just encouraging them. You're not bribing them to go ahead and definitely post across a positive review, even if they had bad experience. You are encouraging them just to go ahead and take that opportunity, get that 5% or 10% discount, only if they go ahead and post across their own honest opinion. You're not encouraging them to go ahead and type in something which is not a fact. Otherwise, that would have been a manipulation. And somewhere or the other, people get to know that these reviews are manipulated, and nobody will start looking into these reviews very seriously. All right. So in some cases, the power of negative criticism, guys, may kill your brand, and that too silently. You won't even get to know if there is a lot of negative criticism, a lot of negative reviews being there about your brand. It would kill the business entirely. It is going to be a lose of money. All right. So interact with people, appreciate their competition. Like I mentioned, get them a particular community being built up, and make them interact with each other, support them, help them, influence them, provide them a lot of great inputs, a lot of useful information, so that they can go ahead and engage in that specific group. So this particular slide tells the same example, which is the difference in the old media and the new media. Earlier, it was only the television, newspapers, and also static websites, which were giving information with the help of advertisements. And every old customers were just connected in a very small fraction. So if I mean, they used to just interact whenever they used to meet across at various different places, but now with the upcoming of internet, you don't need to go ahead and physically meet lot of different customers. A lot of different customers don't need to know each other also, and then also they can go ahead and share across experiences and help each other. So with the help of various other user generated content sites, various other social media sites, everybody is connected fairly well, and the reputation management, the word of mouth, travels very fast. The overall impact of word of mouth in today's world is exponentially very high. It's actually multiplied. If it travels in the positive direction, it travels much way faster. If it travels in the negative, then also it makes a huge loss to the organization, and that too at a very fast pace. Or it's tomorrow's consumers are today's digital natives. You would absolutely agree to that. So you have to be very careful about what your uh, customers are going to see about you. The customers who are potential people, potential audience, which is going to be for your brand in future. So 95% companies also use LinkedIn to find out and attract employees. So what people are talking about your particular organization on LinkedIn is very much essential, because if there are a lot of negative reviews about your particular brand on LinkedIn or various similar other websites, then very less employees would be interested to go ahead and join in your organization, right? So why and what exactly people are saying about you? How would you identify that? So I'll will come on to the listing tools in a while. So increasingly, a product's quality and what a brand stands for is determined by Google. I hope everybody would agree to that. Today, what Google is depicting across is forming up the entire brand image, right? So product quality, what a brand stands for, everything is getting determined by Google only, because word of mouth is getting built across by a lot of websites which are ranking across on Google search engine or any other search engine, right? So if somebody types across a specific keyword about a particular brand on Google, what all negative and positive comments come across, that is forming the entire image and giving a perception about the quality of that brand. Similarly, over here, so it's just easier now. This was an example, guys, of a particular brand called Comcast. A technician was actually sleeping on the couch when he came in to actually fix him something. So this particular thing actually went viral when somebody used to type in a particular keyword called Comcast or Comcast technician sleeping. This went viral. So whenever somebody used to type in Comcast guy sleeps, everything which was over there was all negative reviews being there. So it's very difficult to go ahead and get that thing deleted and get uh, out of that particular negative framework. All right. So next thing, guys, is to actually create a digital plan if you want to go ahead and maintain your overall online reputation. For building up your online reputation management of your brand, you need to have a digital plan in place. Very first thing is to identify who is your audience, where exactly is your audience, what is the age group, what is their overall geographic location, what are their likes, dislikes, and so on. So pick up the 5 top audience groups. There may be only one, there can be only one also, but pick up at least maximum 5. Then just ask yourself, what do you really want to tell them, this entire set of audience, whether it's male, female, this age group or the other age group, this kind of profession they are into, this that kind of income level, so forth and so on. What do you want them to actually know about your particular brand? So pick up 5 top messages you want to go ahead and tell them. Then you decide on how am I going to tell them. Whether you're going to tell them through a newspaper or through an online channel. If through an online channel, which are online channels are you talking about? Are you going to tell them through an event, through a press release, or whatnot? So that's step number three when devising a specific digital plan. Step number four, what exactly you're going to ask is what content I'm going to create. So the overall message which you're going to pass across and through what medium you're going to pass across, on the basis of that, you would actually gel well both the things and then decide on what content are you going to be creating. So it's going to be very informal or in a formal fashion, or what sort of information in an educative mode or whatnot, right? So the another step is to identify how often are you going to post. Are you going to be very aggressive on that, very on day-to-day basis, on daily basis, or on hourly basis? Are you going to post across that content? You have to be careful what your end audience is going to like. You don't have to be very pushy so that they feel that they are getting spammed across. So you have to take a balance of all of that. That has to be an overall that this or overall decision comes in after understanding your audience behavior and overall psychology of your audience, right? So next thing is to ask yourself which all social media sites does your audience use, and similarly those sites would be used across by you for passing across the content and the message which you have got created and to be showcased across to your end audience, right? So which all social media sites would you be using? Then comes in to the question is to decide which tools would I be using to measure my success. Am I doing well in terms of my online reputation management and my digital plan? So what are those five major tools which you would be deciding upon? So there are various tools which gives you a lot of insights, like Facebook Insight is one of them, Google Analytics, Google Alerts, Sprout Social, social mentions, how what people are talking about your brand on blogs, comments, or how many number of fans, likes, visitors, the number of engagement, the kind of engagement which is happening, and other tool like Simply Measured, so forth and so on. So you can go ahead and use these tools in order to find out the impact and measure the overall plan which you have created and implemented. Now, your reputation management strategy looks something like this. So you go ahead and first of all listen and monitor what people are talking about your brand. And then you go ahead and after listening to all that, you categorize and then you start responding to all the positive and negatives. Once you start responding to all the positive and negatives, then the overall engagement thing happens. And within the entire framework, within that entire reputation management activity, you go ahead and measure on different intervals, which is the most important thing. Right, so that's the overall management strategy. Now if you look at into different four quadrants, first is to listen out what people say, then is to actually do go ahead and talk to people like they are people only. Don't go ahead and talk to them as if they are your prospects, they are your I mean, you're going to go ahead and sell them something. So go ahead and talk to them as people only, and then go ahead and engage those people and build up relationship as if you're also amongst them. Then the last part is to actually go ahead and measure where and what is being said. Have the overall tone and manner of what people were talking about your brand has changed in the direction which you wanted or not. Right. So there are various tools, guys, social media monitoring tools. I'm just going to name them and I'm going to show you Google Alerts and Social Mention, the topmost tools, which I'm quite a fan of. So develop a listening process and some of the great tools for checking out what people are talking about you. Google Alerts, Social Mention, alerts.com, Udify, all these are great tools. Then you have Technority, which is a search engine and a monitoring tool both, which does a lot of, which is actually a search engine for bloggers, guys. Whatever you search across on Technority, every single search results are picked up from various other blogs, right? Similarly, you have Twitter, which is a micro blogging site. You can use the search bar of Twitter in order to find out what people are talking about your particular brand, or you can use a Twitter handle which is being used quite a lot for your brand, and then get to see what is happening, what kind of conversations are happening across your brand. Another tools like blog lines, social mention, I'm going to share across with you. So these all are great other tools. Friend feed helps you to find out, it's a social media networking site. Wiki alarm, as you can see, this is a great tool, guys, which which gives you a specific intimation if somebody has written something about your brand on Wikipedia. it gives you an intimation, it gives you sends across a notification in your inbox saying that somebody has written across something about your brand on Wikipedia. There are various other tools for social media listing, like How Sociable, one of them, Commentful, which actually looks at various comments, follow-ups on blog posts, and a lot of other similar content, such as on Flickr, Dig.com, and various other uh, platforms. So another great thing is to first of all establishing. You need to establish an engagement policies which defines how will you respond back to the positive and negative things said about you and your brand. Then you need to determine who will respond, when they'll respond, how they'll respond to all the five W's in one H. This is very much critical because you want to minimize the negative comments, negative word of mouth which is being happening across your brand, right? So get people to retract from, because you want to reach them out, and you want to see positive mentions to be coming across, as positive connections are definitely sales opportunities, right? So the most profound tool for establishing an engagement policy is actually engage. Be present within all the communities where you see your end audiences, right? So whatever your fans, your customers are posting across a lot of content across on various sites and interacting across, whether it's microblog sites or various other blog posts. So you do need to go ahead and participate in all these platforms and create a dialogue, right? So you need to create a dialogue, engage, and get the overall momentum changed in the manner, in the direction which you want. So this type of community building will do a lot towards keeping a positive online reputation getting built across, right? Same stuff, guys. So these are other various social media sites like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, where people go ahead and talk a lot about your brands, right? Then you have similar sites like SlideShare, where you can go ahead and post across a lot of content. So various other consumers, customers do share and comment across on SlideShare kind of websites, HubPage, Script, Wikipedia, Postgres, all of them being similar kind of sites. Then you have Tumblr, Technorati, which I've already spoken about, Null, Blogger, Flickr, Delicious. We have taken these sites previously also in our previous some of our videos like Delicious and Flickr, right? Then you have Ning, Typepad. These are some other blogging sites, blogging search engines. Wikio, Friendfeed being one of the social media sites. StumbleUpon being one of the social bookmarking sites where people do go ahead and type across a lot about various other products. Similarly, you have Multiply, Plaxo, Mixbox, another great sites which are social media and also blogging services, right? Social networking sites. Then you have Boat Tracker, which is a great online search engine which provides only information about the forums. So there are various forums where people go ahead and type in across and share across their uh, experiences. So Boat Tracker is a great search engine which gives only search results picked up from various forums. It doesn't pick up any thread, any specific content which is from any website outside a forum, right? So Vimeo is another great video sharing site. Then you have Vidler, another online video sharing site. Friendster being one of the great social networking. Then you have Google Book Search, Slide Bloom, Bright, Kite, Jaiku, Plug, so forth and so on. Academy, again, a great social networking site for business people. Ziggs.com is another great site, just like LinkedIn. And then UR.com, NetVibes, Ustream. So you should go ahead and measure that. And very soon, this form of rating will only be available for the organization. So that's with the measurement part, right? So there are various other tools like Cloud. Cloud is a great tool, guys, and also a Diplomatic, which gives you information and rating on how is your entire brand performing on a scale of 1 to 10 or on a scale of 1 to 5 with respect to the positive and the negative comments being posted across. Right, so the formula is for identifying all that online reputation will be built across absolutely as there would be new inventions and new particular products. The last thing which guys I want to talk about is that ignorance is just like throwing away money, guys, right? So if you are being ignorant about what people are talking about your brand on various social media websites or various user generated content sites, then you are somehow mm, mm, ignoring and somehow ignoring that money which could have come across into your entire business. So don't go ahead and ignore that money. So bad customer experience, unsolved issues, or bad reputation is very much a synonym of lost revenue. So don't be ignorant about all those negative stuff, guys, which your particular brand is coming across.
I'm sure you enjoyed learning from this video. Please like the video, and if you have any doubts regarding this video, please comment us in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such informative videos. Do look out for other related videos in our playlist. For more information, visit our website now. Keep learning with Intellipaat.